Hello, everyone. Welcome to Transfer Talk on Chelsea Perspective. And today we're going to talk about Marc Guehi's imminent or potential move from Chelsea FC to Crystal Palace, and also the rumors that Borussia Dortmund rejected Chelsea's initial bid for Erling Haaland. But before we continue, please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and more importantly, click on the bell notification button so you don't miss anything. So let's get into it. Today, I have with me a very special guest, Sadiq, a friend and a brother from World Wide Chels. Sadiq, welcome to Chelsea Perspective.
First of all, man, thanks for having me on. I apologize a lot of times that I haven't been on. I did promise you a couple of times, but we're finally here, and I hope it's going to be a very, very good episode.
I appreciate that. I understand how busy you are because you stream on a daily basis, even sometimes twice a day or 3 times a day, depends on how things are out there. So I appreciate you finding time to be here with me. I appreciate, I don't know how else to express my happiness that you're here presenting this transfer talk with me. So Sadiq, I know you have some tier 1, should I say, journalist connections that keep you updated on how things really are, and not just rumors. So we're going to start off by talking about Marc Guehi's imminent transfer to Crystal Palace from Chelsea Football Club. What do you think about that transfer? Because we've talked about him for quite some time now, how he's going to fit into the team, how good he's been in the Championship. So what happened? Why all of a sudden we're hearing that it's imminent that he's going to Crystal Palace for just mere 25 million pounds?
Yeah. I mean, it's a reality check for all of us. A move that happened behind the scenes, no one knew. I didn't know. I don't think any other YouTuber knew about it, journalist. But I do want to say that this is how Chelsea Football Club run. It's a business. This is how it was before Lampard joined. When Lampard first came, we had a transfer ban, of course, and then that's when the youth came in. But realistically, I just don't think most of these guys, probably 95% of the players we have currently, probably won't even make it at Chelsea Football Club. And the money's quite good short term if you think about it. A player that hasn't played in the Premier League, it makes sense for all sides. And Chelsea have tried to cover themselves with future deals if they want to buy him back or if they want to get a sell on, or Chelsea have covered as many aspects as possible. But it would be a Chelsea thing if we were to sign him later on in his career for crazy money as well. But right now, I'm not too angry, but I believe Chelsea will have different, mindset right now. They're going to be signing players, I think. I think we're going to see a lot of players coming in still, personally.
And again, we have to be honest to ourselves. The move is good for the club and also the player, because if he opts to stay, he'd probably be 5th or at least 4th in the pecking order. We still have Rudiger, we still have Thiago Silva, we still have what's his name again, Andreas Christensen, and also Cesar Azpilicueta, who also plays in that position. So it wouldn't make sense for him to stay and then not have the opportunity to develop as a young player. So our fan base must understand that the move is good for the player's development as a young player and also for the club. Because if the club tries to tie him down, he may refuse to extend his contract and leave on a free, because young players these days have learned to deal with the Chelsea board that way. If you try to force them to stay, they will just relax. And when the time comes, they leave on a free. So it's the best choice for the club to say, okay, here's what we do. If you want to leave, we just add, I think they say that there's a sullen clause in the contract, which makes sense. And like you said, some people do forget that Chelsea is a business after all. But we're so spoiled. All we want is just to see the club to do things our way and not considering that it is somebody's business. So I appreciate you taking the time, to explain why it is the way it is right now, because it is hard, very hard for most people to take. If you've been following the trend on Twitter on Marc Guehi's departure potential or imminent departure from Chelsea, it is crazy out there. Some people are calling the club names, saying it's a Chelsea team. Why are we letting all... Exactly. What'd you say?
Emotions. It's more emotions right now than thinking about it.
Yeah, emotions are really running high. So I think we should actually we should switch to the next topic, because it wouldn't make sense to continue talking about Marc Guehi while it's easy to understand why he had to leave. You know, so let's move on to the case of Erling Haaland, which has been the story of the summer. You know, it's silly season, but this one has been crazy. It's even gone longer than that of Kai Havertz, if I'm right. I'm not sure, but it's crazier than that of Kai Havertz. So what's going on? Why are we hearing from Sky Sports that Chelsea did put in a bid and that Borussia Dortmund rejected the bid, and then Fabrizio Romano did put out a tweet saying there's nothing official yet, but talks are ongoing. So what do you have to say about that? Any updates for the fans or anybody who get to watch this?
First of all, I think it was Matt Law in June said this proposal will be given if Chelsea really wanted to test the waters or, you know, do the first step. It would be the 100 mil plus a player, whether it's Tammy, whether it's Hudson-Odoi. Matt Law did report that back in June. So Sky Sports Germany have basically come out with recycled news today. It's not fake news in terms of it's fake news in terms of we haven't made a bid, we've only proposed it. It's like just a conversation between two parties. That's all it is. So I wouldn't say it's officially fake, but it definitely was not the first bid so far. We are waiting for the reports I've been speaking about the last 72 hours, and that's what we've been saying: 130 million up front with 20 million add-on fees without any agent fees, of course. The board have given the green light approval, and now we're just waiting for that to be the official bid. Now, whether the club bid that the first time, that's the question. And also, from past experience, such as Kai Havertz, we expected the fee of Kai Havertz to be around 92 million after add-ons. It was actually 62 million initial fee with 10 million of add-ons as well, according to UK reports when the deal was done. So I feel like because we're hearing a lot of the reports from outside the UK, they're kind of pushing the fee a lot higher than it might be. So it might be your £130 million instead, rather than 150. So I want people to keep an open mind to that. And that's why when you hear 150, don't think it's just 150.
So, and also what I understand from what you're saying is that something is happening. It's not like you said, it's not really fake news, and it's not fake news. It's just people reading, looking at, I think people are just anxious. And when they saw the message that the bid has been rejected, most people didn't read through what they see and then jumped to conclusion that Chelsea had already made a bid. But you explained that it was just a proposal. But can you specifically say talks are ongoing, truly, that both clubs are talking, they're trying to iron out an agreement?
We don't have, obviously, confirmed reports, but I think the assumption can be made right now after all the latest reports in terms of the bid being approved that we're going to go all out. There is conversations now because we had the agent not deny any talks. We had Dortmund say that they want to keep him, but didn't say it's not for sale. We have to read between the lines. There's always little things we can see, and it's the same with Bayer Leverkusen's. I can compare every single step right now. It's going the same way as the Havertz deal right now. The way they've come out and given their opinions, they're not really denying it. They're not saying we will definitely keep him 100%. They want to see if Chelsea are going to put that bid in. I'm waiting for it, and as soon as I see it, you know we're going to be streaming immediately with excitement, because I put my neck on the line for this. Honestly, I've been putting my news out there every single day. If the bid is out there and it's rejected, that's another story. But if we do not put a bid in, I'll be very, very disappointed. I will feel like it's one of the failed windows like 2017 with the standards. But I do believe this club will do it very soon. I can't tell you when. That's the only problem. I'm trying to find out every single day. Ferrez is trying to find out. Ali's trying to find out. we're trying to contact consistently. We've got people working with these journalists. We're trying to contact a few Norwegian people around Haaland as well. There's a lot of things that we're trying to do behind the scenes, but we just haven't got the answer right now. We had a breakthrough, 24 hours ago about the fee being approved 100% with proof. But now it's just about getting that fee officially bidded right now. And that's where we are, 15th of July.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking some time to explain that. And I trusted your input before I even agreed that before you even told me we're going to do this. I always come to your channel to listen because you have tier 1 sources in terms of transfer and all the events that concern the club. So yeah, I truly believe what you said. And on a final note, Sadiq, can you please take some time and explain to the Chelsea fan base why it is important that he leaves Chelsea right at this point, and how his departure benefits the club and how it benefits the player specifically? I know we've talked about it as the show progressed. We did talk about it bits in beats. But can you please take some time, explain to the fan base who are listening, because they trust you, they follow you, while Marc Guehi's move to Crystal Palace is good for his development and also good for the club?
Good for his development because he'll be getting the first team football at a very, very good league, which we highly rate as the best league in the world. Premier League is obviously everyone that watches every single team. You can watch an average 2 teams and still enjoy it realistically. So for him, it's a very good move. For the club, it's a very good move in terms of when a pandemic or we're coming out of a pandemic, we need those funds to come in. We're talking about the likes of Drinkwater, Bakayoko, and all these guys that we've had on the roster for the last 2-3 years, which you couldn't get rid of. But we're seeing talks about Tammy, we're seeing talks about now Mark. These are big deals for players that are not, the first team of Chelsea Football Club. To be getting that certain money, I know people might compare it to Ben White or 50 million, why we're not getting similar money. I understand that. But we have to understand this guy is a youngster. This guy hasn't played anything for Chelsea. He hasn't really shown anything. And although I feel like it's a lot more emotions that we want the youth to do well. I want the youth to do well, but realistically, over the years, over the decade, in fact, I've seen players that have been highly rated never, ever make it at Chelsea. And that's why I no longer not believe in the academy, but I just feel like you might get one or two out of the blue that might get a chance. But you had your Sanders, you had your Kakutas, you had your Josh McCrackens, you had a lot of these guys that had massive big potentials, and it just hasn't gone our way. So for Guehi to go for about 20-25 million, that's going to be going into the transfer key. We need to make sure that we could control the net spend as well at the same time. I know FFP has been relaxed, but as a club, you want to be trying to make sure that you show as much profit as possible. The same with the Haaland deal. If we do spend that much money, it's not going to be going straight into their accounts where it's going to be just all out in one go. It's going to be spread over the years. I feel like people don't understand this type of deals as well, which is why we need to do a lot more research. Same with Sancho to United. Dortmund don't have the money. Simple as that. Dortmund don't have the money up front. It's over 4 years. They're struggling to pay for replacements, which is why they need a deal like Haaland to come in as soon as possible. So 20 million for Marc is a very, very good deal right now for Chelsea. He goes into transfer key and we can go focus on other signings. Fabrizio has said as well that you should be expecting a lot more signings. Maybe not big marquee signings, maybe just one or two marquee signings, but there's going to be a lot more additions in the squad, which is why I believe in the board.
Yeah, thank you again for taking some time to answer that question. And while you were presenting that response, I picked up something very important from it, which is quite a lot of players in the squad right now who earn a lot of money, and it's not easy to get rid of them. And the truth is, you could argue it's because some of them are not good enough. And then the market situation right now, given what the pandemic had done to the clubs, it's not easy to let them go without losing some money. And Marina, I don't see how somebody who just makes decision without seeing that there's a gain to make from that decision. She usually takes her time, but I think they might want to get rid of those players before it's too late, because some of them are already running down their contract. Bakayoko also has just 2 years. Drinkwater, I think, a year or so. So if you're trying to make the most out of yourself, then you might end up not. It becomes an L, a big L. You becomes a loss for you. So yeah, it's a difficult situation for the club right now, because there are lots of players who are in the club's books, which aren't easy, and they aren't easy to get rid of. So I appreciate you taking the time to answer that question. And again, on the side of Haaland, what advice do you have for the Chelsea fan base? Because everybody right now is confused. Some already have given up. Some, even when there are, that is some measure of truth in whatever they see out there, they still doubt it. They say, oh, it's bullcrap, it's nonsense. So what advice do you have for them in terms of what's going on and how crazy it is out there about Chelsea signing Erling Haaland?
I feel like the board understand that for the next 5 years, at least, Chelsea could dominate the world. And the reason why I'm saying that is simply because the likes of Barcelona, Madrid, Bayern, they're struggling to spend money right now, and they're always at the top, if you're being realistic. Okay, you got your PSGs that could be doing really well. They haven't really won anything realistically. You still got your City, but the Real Madrid and Barca that are struggling right now. Chelsea must be seeing that right now, saying we could become, the next biggest club for the next at least 5 years. And that's why if we sign Haaland, it's going to be a very, very good time for Chelsea fans. My advice is stay patient. I know it's difficult. It's big money. These deals take a lot of time. It's going to be the biggest, I think, in English history, in fact. So I know it's difficult. There's a lot of reports out there that are trying to push Chelsea away from this deal. There's a lot of UK journalists. There's a lot of Twitter accounts that have good connections that are being told to talk about Lukaku, to talk about we're not signing Haaland because they want to keep the deal on the low. So I want to make that very clear. I've seen enough. I've spoken to other YouTubers that are at the top as well, that know their stuff as well. But I can tell you, we might, worst case scenario, if things don't go right, we could bid for Lukaku. It has to be 100 million euros at least, because he won't leave. He's happy at Inter. But right now, it's all about Haaland. And I also want to add one more thing with Bakayoko. We've made quite a lot of money on him already. Not a lot in terms of his transfer fee. We've made a lot of loan fees that when he's gone out on loan, of course. So that's why I'm saying we have to sell these guys at a loss. Whether it's 10 million, 15 million, I still think we make a profit overall. I'm still researching on it, but I do believe with all the loan fees that we made on these players, especially Bakayoko is one. I think if we sell him for 12 or 13 million at least, we will get a profit out of him after all fees. So I don't know why we are looking for the 30 million, 35 million mark. There must be other reasons. Maybe we just want profit.
And he's refused to sign a new deal.
Yeah. I mean, AC Milan are a club as well that are looking at all players. I think when it comes to it, just sell it. Even if it's 10, 12. I'm 100% sure we'll make a profit on Bakayoko when you put all the fees together and when they've paid for his wages and stuff as well. So it's an interesting one when you look into it properly, because all we see is reports and we say, oh, he's worth this much, we need to get that much. That's not how it works. We have to understand when they go out on loan, what do those new parent clubs take over to pay? Do they pay loan fee? Some of them pay 2 million, some of them pay 3 million, some of them cover wages. Those are the things you have to add up as well. So I do believe a small fee on Bakayoko will give you a profit as well. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense. Most of them have been on loan, and the loan system brings in money for the club. So you cannot, there's no that possibility to maximize the profit on all of them, because some of them didn't perform out the how. That is the performances wherein you can say they've not been exceptional on loan. It's been ups, downs. And we must take a look at it, take the L and move on before it gets worse. Sadiq, again, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this show, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to be here. Like I said before, you stream on daily basis, and sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day. It depends on the situation of things out there. Can you please take some time, tell the viewers about your channel, and if you have anything planned for today or tomorrow, or
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for finding time to be here. I must say that.
No, honestly, man, you've been supporting me a lot, man. I can't, really say too much, but I'm just grateful for your support as always in the last couple months. Yeah, you can find me on all platforms, man. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, World Wide Chels, everything, World Wide Chels. We've got articles, we've got podcasts, we've got team, we've got panels. We're gonna have you on very soon, whenever we can make the time, of course. With the streaming, I'm not sure what time it could be, in an hour and 2 hours, 3 hours, but we do stream at least once during the day and sometimes between 8 and 10:30 p.m. UK time. So we try to mix it up. I want to get the UK viewers during the day, and if we want the international fans like yourself that have a lot more time, I think during the day when it comes to our night time or evening time. So we try to speak to as many fans as possible. And yeah, we just want to talk to as many fans around the world. That's why it's worldwide.
Yes. And guys, you've heard him. It's World Wide Chels on YouTube. And I'll provide his complete information on the description section when I upload the video. And if you like a channel where you can express your opinion on Chelsea without limits, World Wide Chels is the place to be. I've been there and I'm always there. I hardly miss the streams or video uploads. So I can assure you, you will not be disappointed if you go check it out. Sadiq, again, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I can't express my happiness enough that you're here to present this with me. It will go a long way for my channel and my viewers. And I appreciate that. Thank you again, my friend and my brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. And keep it up, man. Keep up the content, man. You got good content.
Thank you very much.